The world's easiest vegan cookies. With just 4 ingredients and 4 steps, these cookies are vegan, yet in addition paleo and gluten-free. At long last, a cookie that nearly anybody can appreciate. Despite the fact that those with nut allergies shockingly need to skirt this recipe. How about we get this off the beaten path forthright? We know considering a cookie recipe the world's easiest sounds somewhat strange, however, we can clarify. The name began honestly enough. At some point, we made a simple to make almond cookie recipe. We venerated this recipe. In our energy, we'd state to companions, you need to attempt these almond cookies, they're similar to the world's easiest cookies. And well, the name stuck. So what makes them easy? The name stuck on the grounds that we truly think about these as the world's easiest cookies. To make a cluster, everything you do is consolidate vanilla extract, maple syrup, baking powder, and almond flour in a huge bowl and mix. That is it. No eggs, no spread, no cooling the mixture, or turning it out. You simply need 4 fixings and some real effort. After around 10 minutes of heating, you're compensated with macaron seasoned cookies that are fresh on the edges and chewy in the middle. In the event that you follow a vegan diet, gluten-free, or paleo, you'll notice immediately that these cookies are a fit for you. In any case, we don't think about these as unique diet treats, we just think about these as delicious cookies that we can prepare in minutes when our sweet tooth needs consideration. Fixings. 1. Vanilla extract. There's an astonishing measure of vanilla extract in this recipe. The vanilla binds together the almond and maple, enhances and draws out a marginally spread-like flavor from the almonds. 2. Maple syrup. Search for a dim maple syrup marked grade A dim with robust flavors. Up to this point this was called grade B. In the event that you can't discover dark maple syrup, utilize a lighter evaluation. At the point when made with a lighter shaded syrup, the maple kind of the cookies won't be as articulated in light of the fact that the lighter the syrup, the more gentle the flavor. Evade flapjack or table syrup, as those syrups, as a rule, contain corn syrup and fake seasoning, and those fixings influence the flavor and surface of the cookies. 3. Preparing powder. In the event that you follow a without grain diet, you'll need to make your own sans grain baking powder or request a claim to fame form online on the grounds that most business baking powders contain a grain-based starch, normally cornstarch, to forestall amassing. If you don't follow a sans grain diet, utilize whatever baking powder you have available. For whatever length of time that it's new, obviously. 4. Almond flour. Any almond flour works in this recipe, yet for the best surface and shading, search for a finely ground, whitened almond flour, for example, Bob's Red Mill or Honeyville. Make certain to evade almond meal, its coarse surface leaves the cookies marginally brittle. Fixings. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1/3 cup of dark maple syrup. 1/2 teaspoon baking powder. 2 cups of finely ground almond flour. Directions. Orchestrate rack in the oven and warmth to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Line a rimmed baking sheet with material paper. Whisk the baking powder and almond flour together in a medium bowl. Change to a wooden spoon and mix in the vanilla and maple syrup. Mix until a clingy dough structures and holds together. Drop adjusted tablespoons of the dough onto the readied baking sheet, around 1 inch separated. For fresh cookies, push down the dough gently with the level base of a drinking glass or measuring cup. In the event that the glass adheres to the dough, dunk the base in water. For gentler cookies, don't push down the dough. Prepare until the edges are brilliant earthy colored, around 12 minutes. Permit the cookies to cool on the pan for around 3 minutes, at that point move them to a wire rack to cool totally. Cool the baking sheet between clumps. Extra notes. Include 1/2 cup of cleaved dried organic product or chocolate, nuts, to the player before heating. Veggie lover sushi rice bowls. This recipe is a new and filling all-veggie supper with a base of sushi rice. The best part? That avocado bloom, without a doubt. One of our preferred takeout snacks from Whole Foods is their sushi rice bowl, which for the most part contains a blend of fish and vegetables over a bed of sushi rice. Since we don't have simple access to sashimi-quality fish, vegetable-based rice bowls are a lot simpler, also more financial plan neighborly, to put together at home. This rice bowl is stuffed with scrumptious vegetables and sufficiently healthy to make a wonderful lunch or supper. On the first occasion when we made these rice bowls, we had wanted to season the rice like customary sushi rice, just as make a dressing for the vegetables. As destiny would have it, we neglected to season the rice and understood that the tart miso dressing was tasty enough on its own that we could simply shower some of it legitimately on the ginger-enhanced earthy colored rice. Concerning the garnishes, we have summer at the forefront of our thoughts at this moment, so we utilized a mix of smooth avocado, verdant radish tops hurled with the dressing, crunchy cut radishes, and sautéed asparagus. Don't hesitate to switch up the vegetables to anything that's in season or gets your attention, however. If you like a little hot warmth, you can likewise sprinkle a little togarashi, Japanese 7 flavor, on everything, except even some sesame seeds and destroyed ocean growth all alone are extraordinary finishers for these rice bowls. These pretty rice bowls hit all the imprints for us, loaded with veggies, fulfilling, tasty, and effectively versatile to whatever we happen to have in our crisper cabinet. Fixings. For the dressing: 1½ teaspoons of toasted sesame oil, 1½ teaspoons of stuffed dark brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of red miso paste, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1½ teaspoons of tamari or soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. For the toppings: destroyed nori, toasted sesame seeds, salt, 1 avocado, 1 bunch of radishes with tops connected, washed, and dried, 8 ounces of asparagus, 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. For the rice: 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of minced stripped new ginger, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 1 cup of short grain earthy colored rice. Directions: cook the rice. Wash the rice all together and channel. Heat the oil in a little saucepan over medium warmth until shining. Include the ginger and rice and cook, mixing as often as possible, until toasty smelling, around 1 moment. Add the water and heat to the point of boiling. Lessen the warmth to the most minimal setting, spread, and cook until the rice is delicate around 45 minutes. In the interim, set up the garnishes, and make the dressing. Make the toppings. Trim the asparagus and daintily cut on the predisposition into 1-inch long pieces. Heat the oil in a little griddle over medium-high warmth. Include the asparagus, season with salt, and cook blending once in a while, until fresh delicate, around 3 minutes, then put it in a safe spot. Meagerly cut the radishes and put them in a safe spot. Coarsely cleave the tops and spot in a medium bowl. Set up the dressing. Whisk all the fixings together in a little bowl. The rice bowl. Lighten the rice with a fork and gap among 3 dishes. Shower a tablespoon of dressing over each serving of rice. Include 2 tablespoons of the dressing to the bowl of radish tops and hurl to join. Partition the asparagus, radishes, and radish tops among the dishes of rice. Daintily cut the avocado and gap among the dishes. Shower with a greater amount of the rest of the dressing as wanted, sprinkle with the sesame and nori and serve. Beet pesto pasta. Negligence green pesto, we're about pink pasta, on account of this rich pesto made with simmered beets. With olive oil, almonds, and red wine vinegar, there's no dairy required. Beet pesto pasta is a mark recipe of our own that we have been making for a long time. We attempted beets as youngsters, straight from the can, just to take a fairly protracted break while our taste buds recuperated, or possibly developed. We can in any case recollect the assortments: purple, treat stick, and brilliant. They were new and delightful and, to our incredible shock, we totally cherished them. We and beets have been engaged with a relationship from that point forward. While we are obsessed with their surface and gritty flavor, we think our actual charm originates from the lively fuchsia shade of the purple assortment. It is completely inebriating to us, so we ensure these lovely beets advance into everything from pasta to plates of mixed greens to pizza, which carries us to this beet pesto pasta. By pureeing cooked or bubbled beets, you truly get the chance to exploit the visual appeal. It likewise gives you an incredible chance to improve the kind of the beets with include-ins like garlic and red wine vinegar. In this recipe, the almonds and olive oil bring a pleasant, smooth lavishness to the pesto, and afterward, a sprinkling of fit salt is all you have to bring profundity. Next, you hurl this delicious puree with pasta and you will have a hard time believing how this basic dish changes into something marvelous. We have consistently said that the enchantment of this dish is that it gets individuals who love beets amped up for them once more. For the individuals who figure they don't care for beets, the shading is sufficient for them to check out it, and chances are they will like it. We know in light of the fact that our sister is a noisy and glad beet hater and she will even eat this pasta. Additionally, you know having a 6 and 8-year-old eating it down is a certain indication of a triumphant dish. Obviously, to children, it is referred to just as otherworldly pink unicorn pasta, yet that couldn't have anything to do with it. We love to decorate this wonderful dish with palatable blossoms, particularly on Mother's Day. It is simply significantly prettier when sprinkled with chive blooms, single man button petals, or little pansies. It will be the visual star of the table and your mom will be wowed. Don't hesitate to present with a huge bowl of newly destroyed pecorino, whenever wanted. This pasta can be made with sans gluten pasta or customary, kept vegan if you hold off on a sprinkle of pecorino, and served warm, room temperature, or marginally chilled. It's intended to be adaptable so you can do what works best for the individuals throughout your life. Fixings. Minced new chives, for decorating. Genuine salt. A large portion of a cup of crude slivered almonds. 1/3 cup of olive oil. 2 enormous cooked and stripped red beets, coarsely cleaved. 2 cloves of garlic. 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. 1 pound of customary or sans gluten spaghetti. Guidelines. Heat an enormous pot of salted water to the point of boiling. Include the pasta and cook until still somewhat firm. In the meantime, place the garlic and almonds in the bowl of a food processor fitted with the cutting-edge connection and heartbeat until the almonds are a fine dinner and the garlic is minced. Include the beets, olive oil, and vinegar, and heartbeat until you have a smooth pesto-like sauce. Season to taste with legitimate salt. At the point when the pasta is prepared, hurl with the pesto and season to taste with genuine salt. Serve hot. In the event that you need to serve the pasta at room temperature or chilled, flush the pasta with cold water before hurling with the pesto. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips, information, and advice from Wellness World.